The Passion of the Christ is a classic film directed by Mel Gibson and released in 2004. The film portrays Jesus' last 12 hours on earth, including his crucifixion, death and resurrection. The film was a huge commercial success, generating more than $600 million worldwide. It was also nominated for various awards, including 3 Academy Awards. There has been conjecture that a sequel is in the works some 2 decades later. According to reports, The Passion of the Christ 2 Resurrection will center on Jesus' resurrection and the events that followed. However, there are rumors that the film will take a different route than most people anticipate. In this video, we look at how the various paths might appear and what we can expect from the highly anticipated sequel. In the first part, The Passion of the Christ, we see Jesus' last 12 hours of life, including his betrayal, trial, and crucifixion. The movie is known for its graphic depiction of Jesus' torture and crucifixion, which stirred controversy and debate. The movie begins in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus, played by Jim Caviezel, is praying while his disciples sleep. Judas, one of Jesus' disciples, arrives with a group of soldiers and betrays Jesus with a kiss. Jesus is then taken to the Jewish high priest, where he is accused of blasphemy and sentenced to death. Jesus is then taken to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, who finds no fault in him but is pressured by the crowd to sentence Jesus to death. Jesus is then brutally beaten and whipped and forced to carry his cross to the place of his execution. At Golgotha, Jesus is nailed to the cross and left to die. We see Mary, Jesus' mother, and Mary Magdalene watching in horror as he suffers. Eventually, Jesus dies on the cross, and we see a dramatic earthquake and a storm as a sign of his death. The movie ends with Jesus' body being taken down from the cross and placed in a tomb. However, the final scene shows a beam of light shining on the tomb, suggesting that something miraculous is about to happen. Overall, The Passion of the Christ is a powerful and emotional movie about Jesus' sacrifice for humanity. While it was controversial at the time of its release, it remained a significant cultural phenomenon that has inspired millions of people around the world. Well, the sequel, The Passion of the Christ 2 Resurrection, is shrouded in secrecy, and details about the plot have been kept under wraps. However, there are a few fan theories and rumors that have surfaced. It is believed that the sequel will focus on Jesus' resurrection and the events that followed. This means that we may see Jesus' appearances to his disciples and other followers, his ascension into heaven, and the birth of the Christian church. One theory is that the movie will start with the women discovering the empty tomb and then follow the disciples' journey as they struggle to come to terms with Jesus' resurrection. We may see Jesus appearing to them, offering them comfort and guidance. Another theory is that the movie may delve into the political and social ramifications of Jesus' resurrection. In the first movie, we saw how the Jewish and Roman authorities were threatened by Jesus' teachings and saw him as a potential revolutionary. With his resurrection, they may fear that his followers will rise against them, leading to a new wave of persecution. It is also rumored that Jim Caviezel will reprise his role as Jesus, despite reports that he suffered injuries during the filming of the first movie. Mel Gibson will also reportedly return as the director. As for the ending, it's unclear how the movie will wrap up. Will we see Jesus' ascension into heaven, or will it end with the birth of the Christian church? Will there be a hint of a third movie, or will this be the conclusion of the series? Only time will tell. In our thoughts, we believe that the sequel will offer a message of hope and redemption, much like the first movie did. We may see how Jesus' resurrection inspired his followers and gave them the courage to spread his teachings around the world. It may also emphasize the power of faith and the transformative effects it can have on individuals and society as a whole. One certain thing is that The Passion of the Christ 2 Resurrection will go down a different path than what many people expect. It may explore new themes and offer a fresh perspective on the story of Jesus' resurrection. As with the first movie, the sequel will likely be controversial and spark debate. However, it will also likely resonate with audiences of all faiths and backgrounds. One thing that will be interesting to see in the sequel is how it handles the aftermath of Jesus' resurrection. In the first movie, we saw the brutal and violent depiction of Jesus' crucifixion, which has been criticized by some for being too graphic. However, the sequel may present a more uplifting and hopeful message, highlighting the power of faith and the transformative effects it can have on individuals and society. One of the key themes that the movie is likely to explore is the concept of redemption. Jesus' resurrection is seen by many as a symbol of hope and forgiveness, offering a chance for people to start anew and leave behind their past mistakes and regrets. We may see how this message resonates with the characters in the movie and how they use it to find a sense of purpose and meaning in their lives. Another interesting aspect of the movie could be its portrayal of the disciples. In the first movie, we saw how they struggled to come to terms with Jesus' arrest and crucifixion, and how they were often shown as fearful and uncertain. However, in the sequel, we may see them transformed by the experience of seeing Jesus rise from the dead. They may become emboldened and inspired to spread his message to the world, even in the face of persecution and opposition. It will also be intriguing to see how the sequel handles the historical and cultural context of Jesus' resurrection. The first movie was criticized by some for its portrayal of the Jewish authorities as villains who were responsible for Jesus' death. It will be interesting to see if the sequel offers a more nuanced portrayal of the historical context and how different groups were affected by Jesus' teachings and his resurrection. In terms of the movie's production, it has been reported that Mel Gibson has been working on the script for the sequel for several years and that he is determined to create a movie that is faithful to the source material while also offering a fresh perspective. The movie is expected to be a big-budget affair with stunning visuals and special effects that bring the story to life on the big screen. Overall, The Passion of the Christ 2: Resurrection is a highly anticipated movie that promises to be a thought-provoking and emotionally powerful exploration of Jesus' resurrection and its impact on his followers. Whether you're a religious believer or a secular moviegoer, there is no doubt that the movie will offer plenty of food for thoughts and inspire discussion long after the credits have rolled. The Passion of the Christ 2: Resurrection is a highly anticipated movie that promises to be a powerful and emotional exploration of Jesus' resurrection and its impact on his followers. While we may not know all the details, we can be sure that it will be a thought-provoking and a moving cinematic experience.